Today's question is from James. James's question is been playing for about 2 years now, having trouble working with the metronome. Any ideas to improve my timing would be greatly appreciated. So, the very first thing we want to understand about timing is the term entrainment. entrainment, entrainment, all one word. It's a word I ran into in graduate school. I didn't run into it earlier in my music education career. Um, the term really means the ability to predict a pulse. As we're hearing music, as we're hearing um, instruments and sounds happening, if a pulse is established, are we able to perceive it? And so that's sort of what the metronome really helps us out with, is it gives us an infallible pulse. It doesn't have any nuance to it, right? Like we do as humans. So what we want to be able to do first is actually be able to, oh, I missed it. There we go. Hit the beat, right? And so I'm entrained now. I understand where the pulse is. You can see I'm talking, thinking, but I'm able to hit this beat. And now I can keep the beat consistent. So since I can keep the beat consistent, now when I'm playing music to it, right? Da 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 da, right? Just improvising little melodies, right? But I'm always entrained. So when I have a student who is just learning entrainment for the first time, I simply tell them, make an audible sound. So you can see I'm snapping. You could also tap on something, whatever it is you want to be able to do. There we go. The ability to comfortably predict the pulse. Now, most people, they just do this for a little bit, but as you can see, I'm doing this just continuously over and over and over and over again. I want to get that consistency. If I have that consistency, when I turn this off, I have established a really consistent straight pulse, a good sense of timing. Any kind of subdivisions within here can be measured, thought about, figured out, right? I don't want to go into subdivisions today in this. I just want this to really be about entrainment and how important it is. So before you attempt to play a song in time, right? Just say, for instance, I don't know what James's particular context is for his entrainment, but before we attempt to play, let's say it's a song we're learning or something of that in time, the first thing we want to do is bop our head a little bit or snap our fingers to it. Where's the time, right? This tells us actually sort of what our physical motions will have to be with the time, right? So if I'm doing two notes, we're like da 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 da. Okay, so my motions are something that allows me to hit around that time. Four notes per click. Da 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 da. Okay. Any faster than that, right? The motions will have to speed up and also be proportionate, right? So entrainment in itself allows us to get an equality to each side, if you will, right? Like a metronome actually has a needle, right, that shows you each point. And so the thing about this needle is that it is moving at the same speed, given the display. But in conducting, there's two words for this. There's the ictus and the takt. And the ictus is each side of that, I guess the display screen here, right? But it's each hit. The actual point, the actual place where the beat is perceived is the ictus. And then the takt is the motion that we use as conductors to go from one ictus to the next. And ideally, what we want to do when we're guiding other people is we want to move in a predictable, proportionate motion. So this way, when the ictus is actually arrived at, which is just a point in the air, when the ictus is actually arrived at, it is seen and perceived by the members of the group who are watching you conduct, and they understand, and then they all hit at the same time. Now, it's not the exact same time the conductor does the ictus. There's a slight delay between that, especially with the very best orchestras. But it allows us to know the ictus happen, that's when I play. But when we play with the metronome, it's about nailing the ictus every single time. And that's entrainment. All right, if you have any more guitar or music questions, please feel free to send them to me, and I'll make a video on them. Thanks so much.